Hello, everyone. Today, um, sorry. Hi, everyone. It's Matt today, along with Goose, and today we're going to talk about Wight King in the continuation of our S Unit series. So please stick around. All right. As you can see here, today we're going to talk about Wight King, and the first thing we're going to talk about is Wight King's leadership perk, which is to raise all spell potency by 10%. In the beginning of the game, this is by far the best general magic leader in the game that you can have. You will see that maybe a little later down the line, you might be able to get, especially Frizz, some units, you might be able to make a Frizz team. But outside of that, I don't really see any other leaders for quite a while, until about Zoma potentially, that we will see that is more useful in general. Um, so Wight King is undead and is obviously a magic user, as it is one of the best magic leaders. And on top of it being a good leader, it is actually a very good unit as well. Uh, so its first skill, Swoosh, is a whoosh type spell with an AoE. And I would like to talk that this is one of the few units here that, and mine is actually +5 right now. It's one of the few units that has whoosh as a natural skill. So it is kind of rare to see that, which is kind of nice actually. His second spell is Zammel, and it's a Zam spell damage, and it's range 1 instead of Swoosh, which is range 3. So it is still a distance. You need to get a little closer to get Zammel to work, but it's nice as all these distances and ranges give Wight King a very large range where he can attack. Now might get a little frustrating if you want to cast Samuel and he's just out of range, but all in all, it's nice that he has two different types of skills and two different ranges. It usually allows you to at least be able to attack something. It might not be the most optimal attack, but at least he can attack something. And his third skill is Kaswoosh, which is a very high MP consumption of 108, but deals major, and I mean it's a very strong whoosh spell damage to all enemies in area of effect. It has MP consumption of 108. It does require a skill books in order to upgrade, um, but it is a very powerful spell. It does use up a lot of MP, and it is nice that even on auto, if you get a dupe of him, that once you run out of the Kaswoosh cast, the sporadic MP regen that he gets with his first dupe gives him enough MP usually to cast at least a Zammel, and might actually be able to cast a Swoosh as well. Right now, my Wight King is around 82, 83, gets around 15 to 20 MP, so almost always can cast a Zammel, and then after a little bit might be able to cast a Swoosh. But you'll see with this MP that he's basically got enough MP to last a while, and in this game, anything more than 7 turns, you should be done with the overall battle. Except for end bosses. And with the sporadic MP regen, theoretically can cast at infinitum at that point. At the second dupe, you get a zap resistance plus 25. The third and fifth, you increase the Kaswoosh power by 5%. And at fourth one, you get bang resistance at 25%. And as always, every single time you get a dupe up to the fifth dupe, you get 5% stats up everywhere as well. So this is level 100 stats, 522 HP. So for a magic user, has good but not great HP. Its agility though is pretty good at 335, so it does attack fairly early. On my team, it's usually number second. The hybrid, which has an ungodly 400 agility, goes first. But generally, the 335 is almost always faster than any enemy that I have seen. The MP 411 can do 3 swooshes, and with the MP regen can actually do a fourth. So that's 4 turns of massive damage, and then you get good damage from the rest of the spells afterwards. And its wisdom is 348, which is also very strong. The attack is 272, which for a magic user is actually not that bad. It can do some damage with the attack, but obviously with the sporadic MP regen, if you get 1 dupe with it, then it's not really necessary. It only has a movement of 2, but once again, thanks to its different ranges, it does cover a lot of different. Its AoE is pretty large, so it shouldn't be too much of an issue for you. Defense is 430, which is very high for a magic unit, and its weight in arena is 50. So if you're going to do a magic arena team, I highly suggest that you put Wight King in there. His preferred weapon is the Skull Wand, which you can get in the Ghost Road 6 Battle Road. It has a Wisdom plus 22, Undead spell power plus 4%. You can see that I've actually got him equipped with the Skull Wand. Skills to look for alchemy if we ever get if you re-roll it, which you can with special items. You want undead spell potency and undead wisdom, but this is by far the best weapon right now in the game for Wight King. The preferred skills, I have Sizzle, which to be honest, it is just the same type as here. Any type of different magic type other than swoosh or zap. So I do have Zapple here though too, so that you can also have zap type spell damage and AoE. So you can be very similar to right here in the whoosh. And you can also do that as well. I know a lot of people actually like putting Zamel on him. I like having a third element, but I still put Zamel in there just for people to have that ability, because generally Whoosh and Zam don't mix together, so usually one of those two will work. But really, I put Sizzle in there because I need a Sizzle on my team, and that made a good deal of damage there. So it doesn't really matter which element. But honestly, the more I was thinking, Zapple might actually have been the best choice, because then you have Zam and Zapple, and I think that overall is a very powerful combination. Now, from a leadership, it is still a very good leader in Japan. There's 1 or 2 that might be a little bit better, but in all honesty, it is still a top unit in Japan. If you have a Wight King, you should be using it for magic teams, and you should be using it as leader, unless if you have like with the Sizzle here, and someone's weak to Sizzle, then maybe the Hybrid might be, or Dragon Lord. But once again, 9 times out of 10, you want the Wight King. So I give him a 9.5 or even a 10 for leadership. He'll drop to a 9.5 when some units are released later on. But other than that, though, he is the top magic leader. And as a unit, you could, with his stats, I still also rate him very highly in the 9 to 9.5 range. This is a top tier unit. It is still very much used in Japan today, and it is okay to put him as your first or one of your first ones to get to 100. As I say, he is just that good of a unit. He is going to be my second unit that I level to 100. My first unit was Dragon Lord, and is about to get there as well. So, as I say, if you don't have Dragon Lord, it's an easy choice if you want a magic team. If you're focusing on physical, then obviously he kind of doesn't fit very well, but usually it's good to have one magic user, and because he's an all-purpose magic user, you can even put him as that. And at that point too, if you're really looking for a physical team and you want a decent agility, high wisdom that could both attack and do defense, even putting a healing scroll or mid heal on him, the mid heal scroll, isn't a horrible option. But to me, he's just too good of an attack unit to do that. But if you're focusing on a physical team and you have a Wight King, you could still do that and make it incredibly useful all the way around. So hopefully you guys like this. Please give this video a like and subscribe. I will be posting more S units later this week, but most importantly, have a good travel, and travelers, good luck and have fun.